Hello, Miss Kapow.
Hello, Brother Kapow.
I heard a rumor that today was Freedom Friday.
Yes, it is. It's May 6th, 2016.
Cool. Today's show, the title is Running with the Devil. Running with the Devil. And as you just heard, David Lee Roth, the golden boy of the 70s, singing Running with the Devil. That's right.
He was with
Van Halen. Van Halen. But you will see, as we talk about these stories and things like that, you're going to see the running with the devil pattern. Mm-hmm. You're going to see that. And there's only two ways to run. You can either walk in the Spirit or you can run with the devil.
That's right.
There's really no...
in between.
Yeah, there's no light jog.
No.
There's no Pilates version of Christianity. You're either walking in the Spirit. You're either mounted with wings of eagles. You're either running and not getting weary.
You're quacking like a duck.
Or quacking like a duck. Well, I'm actually flapping my arms. That's what Miss Capel's referring to. As I'm talking, I'm actually flapping my arms because I'm flying like wings of an eagle. Or you can run with the devil.
That's right.
You can run with the devil. That's the only choice. And this whole world, whether we like it or not, is run by the devil. What? The world was created by God. It was. Nature was. Those beautiful mountains, God. Stars in the sky, God. That beautiful tree, God. How about that orchid growing in your garden?
God.
God. The marvelous human the human genome, the body, how it works, God. Mm-hmm. Right?
God is the Lord that created the heaven and the earth.
Exactly.
And all the things that are in it.
He is the Almighty. Mm-hmm. But society, what you live in, this box, this illusion that it's a fallen world, Satan. Mm-hmm. He's the god of the world. I don't say it. The Bible says it. Mm-hmm. Calls him the god of this world. Has blinded those who just don't believe. They can't see the truth. They're blinded by the god of the world, not by God. The Almighty, the God of the world. Little g God. The little g God. The little ruler. This is his planet. This is his deal. So he has humans. He hates humans. They're made in the image of God from the very beginning. It was the fall of mankind. The whole thing is just to take as many souls into eternity, into damnation as possible.
Yes, right.
And it's really a small thing in the big scheme of things when you look at eternity. He
has come to kill, steal, and destroy.
Exactly. And he does that, and it's all around us. So that's why many get confused and think, well, that's of God, or that's of God. It's not. It's not of God. Nature is. The things he created, our society, all this stuff, education, our technology, our philosophies, everything. It's. You could trace it back to the dragon.
Mm-hmm. Amen.
He's going to use everything to destroy the human. Mm-hmm. All right. So do you have a scripture, Mr. Pay?
Yes. We're going to start in Psalm 36, 1 through 4. It says, "The transgression of the wicked saith within their heart," or my heart, "that there is no fear of God before his eyes. For he flatters himself in his own eyes, that his iniquity be found to be hateful. The words of his mouth are iniquity and deceit. He has left off to be wise and to do good. He devises mischief upon his bed. He sets himself in a way that is not good, and he abhors not evil." And then Proverbs 1, starting with verse 10, says, "My son, if sinners entice thee, consent thou not. If they say, Come with us, let us lay wait for blood. Let us lurk privily, for their innocent without cause. Let us swallow them up alive as the grave, and whole as those that go down into the pit. We shall find all precious substance. We shall fill our houses with spoil. Cast in thy lot among us. Let us all have one purse. My son, walk not thou in the way with them. Refrain thy foot from their path. For their feet run to evil, and make haste to shed blood." And then we'll go over to Isaiah 59, 1 through 8, and we'll read, "Behold, the Lord's hand is not shortened, that it cannot save, neither his ear heavy, that it cannot hear. But your iniquities have separated between you and your God, and your sins have hid his face from you, and he will not hear. For your hands are defiled with blood, and your fingers with iniquity. Your lips have spoken lies, and your tongues have muttered perverseness. None calleth for justice, nor any pleadeth for truth, for they trust in vanity and speak lies. They conceive mischief and bring forth iniquity. They hatch cockatrices' eggs, and weave the spider's web. He that eats of their eggs dies, and that which is crushed breaks out into a viper. Their web shall not become garments, neither shall they cover themselves with their works. Their works are works of iniquity, and the act of violence is in their hands. Their feet run to evil, and they make haste to shed innocent blood. Their thoughts are thoughts of iniquity. Wasting and destruction are in their paths. The way of peace they know not, and there is no judgment in their goings. They have made them crooked paths, and whosoever goeth therein shall not know peace.
Running with the devil. That's all it is. Running with the devil. It's black and white. You walk in the spirit or run with the devil. There's no yoga pants here. There's no middle ground gray yoga pants. Right, Mr. Pat?
That's right.
You know, we're going to talk on the show. We're going to talk about the men in black. You know those alien silencers?
Yes.
You know, when you start seeing too many UFOs and start talking about it, then the men in black, they knock on your door and they tell you to stop. They're going to get you. And they pretend like they're from the government, and they got black cars, black hats, black shoes, black glasses. We're talking about those guys in the sense that their inventor or their founder or the guy who made them famous has died. We're going to talk about him. Woo! Getting to him a little bit. We're going to talk about the selfie that's heard around the world. And that is a play on words, because you hear about the gunshot that was heard around the world. This is a selfie heard around the world.
Yep.
And then kids turn into zombies or have the potential to turn into zombies with the new technology of virtual reality.
Yep.
Running with the devil. And you will see the companies that are promoting this stuff. McDonald's, Coca-Cola, Pepsi. They're promoting the VR stuff. History Channel. I believe Discovery and some other things. And then we're going to talk about some Jewish rabbis, some Orthodox Jewish rabbis who have blessed marijuana as being kosher. Yay! So you can get stoned and wait for Elijah at your empty table. And then the last one I just have to address. I have to address the ghetto antics of the White House. Ghetto, because they're running with the devil.
That was disgusting. I'm sorry.
It is disgusting because it's running with the devil. It's just, it's a degradation of the American culture and of society in general, because they are running
with the devil.
All right. You know, I was thinking, Miss Kapow.
Okay.
I know it's hard for you to imagine, but I was thinking, man. I was thinking the other day. I was thinking about the Illuminati, and I was thinking, you know, we call them the Illuminati, or they call themselves the Illuminati, really, and then we refer to them, you know, the Illuminati. Why? Because they're the illuminated ones.
Yeah,
they're illumined. You know, they see, they have the light. So they're in some dark room somewhere, or they're at the Bilderberg, you know, conference at some great hotel in Switzerland. And they're all planning the global takeover and what they're going to do next. And they're going to put Hillary there, but they're going to put Bernie to create a little tension, and then like that. And then they're going to do this. They're going to put Trump there, and then they're going to create a little. And then they're going to cause riots in Brazil. And then
sound
they're
like
going to
little
do
chess
this.
Pieces.
Yeah, little chess pieces. And we tend to think that that's what these men, you know, and maybe a few women are doing. The Illuminati. But as I began to think about this last week, I was thinking, you know what? They're not Illuminati at all. They're in darkness.
That's right.
They have no light. They cannot see what they're doing, and that is why it's chaotic. Now, there is some chaos that's done on purpose. There is chaos that's done on purpose so that they can bring order in, right? So they can bring in a new world order through the chaos. There is some, but not all chaos is pre-planned. This world is chaotic. It's because they're in darkness. Darkness is chaotic. Satan is chaotic. They're bumping around in each other. They don't know what they're doing. They do not have the light, and they're very, very temporary. Very temporary. You look at the lifespan of your average human, and you maybe have 780, and on a good generation, maybe you live to 85 or something. But come on. That's it. And then is affinity upon affinity upon affinity. You can't unring that bell. What you do here, the works you do here are judged. You can't unring that.
No.
This life, and even the Bible says, it's a wisp of smoke. It's like a little flower that comes up, and in the hot noonday, boom, just withers. It's that simple. So we look at the Illuminati. You think of the Rothschilds. You think of the Bilderberg group. I think of all these people as being special, and they're not. They're not. There's all kinds of names for them. You can call them the globalists. They're the richest, the wealthiest people. The shadow government. We know they're running things from behind, right? They're the dictators of all human life. They're going to dictate what technology comes out, what food we're going to eat, what movies we're going to see, how they're going to change the perception of the human. How are they going to do this? But one thing they all have in power, one thing they all have in common is that they are powered by Satan, the beast, the 10 horns, the dragon. They are not illuminated as their name suggests. Rather, they are in darkness. They're in Satan's darkness. Now we, who are faithers in the Almighty, are the ones who are really illumined. We're the ones who have light.
That's right.
Not them. They're in darkness. We are the children of the day. And they are children of the night. We walk in the Spirit, but they're running with the devil. The second thing that I was thinking about is the isms. And I've mentioned this before.
Yeah.
Everything that's an ism is Satanism. It all comes from Satan. And it's interesting that we'd give it the name ism. They're all isms come from one root. You see, Satan is the root. He's the bad vine. He's the god of this world. The little g god of this world that keeps people in blindness and in darkness and deception. For what goal? Rob, steal, and destroy. Hates humans. Everything that comes out of that root is an ism. It's a branch or an arm of just the satanic agenda.
Right.
So you have the political manifestation of Satanism, which is like Marxism, socialism, communism, things like that. You have a financial branch of Satanism. You have the central bank, the Federal Reserve. You have all the Kabbalist Jewish bankers, the Rothschilds that own everything. It's Satanism. It's the financial arm of Satanism. You have the religious arm of Satan. You have the Pope. You have those who support the Pope, Rick Warren. You have a guy like Joel Osteen. Oh, how can I say that? Well, I can say that. I can say that because Miss Kapow and I just saw a video of Joel on Larry King, and Larry King asked him, point blank, about this business of Jesus being the only way to God. And Joel told millions of people that Jesus was, in fact, the only way to God. However,
But there are many ways to Jesus.
Did you catch that? He said Jesus was the only way to God, but there are many ways to Jesus. You hear that nonsense? That's dragon talk. See, he gets his power from the dragon.
That's right.
You're not going to see a very real, biblical Christian. You're not going to see somebody like Yeshua or Paul the Apostle or Peter the Apostle. You're not going to see any of these guys, James, John. You're not going to see anybody like that in modern days that are truly following Yeshua in the biblical sense that are rich and successful in the world. I know that's heavy. I know it's hard to accept that because a lot of people think, well, God blesses this person and they're very, they're worth millions and billions. It don't work that way. The God of the world is taking care of these people to push his agenda. They're at best little muppets and servants, and at worst they're demon-possessed, agents of Satan himself. So there's the religious arm. I talked about the financial arm. You have the educational arm. What they're teaching in the universities. What they're creating with these young people. Satanism. I can go on, but you get my point. It goes back to one root. It's all Luciferian, folks. It's all Lucifer. If it's not the Almighty God, and we get that standard. How do we know God? We get that standard from the written words of God.
That's right.
And if it's not in there, it is simply darkness. It's not light. There is not a shadow gray area. I'll say that over and over again till the day I die. There is no gray. Mm-mm. It's black or white.
Luke 11, 34 says, "The light of the body is the eye. Therefore, when thine eye is single, thy whole body also is full of light. But when thine eye is evil, thy body is full of darkness. Take heed, therefore, that the light which is in thee be not of darkness." Oh, here is it. And then 36 says, "If thy whole body therefore be full of light, having no part dark, the whole shall be full of light, as when the bright shining of a candle doth give thee light."
So whatever's inside comes out. If your eye is dark, how dark is it inside? Does it say anything in that scripture about a twilight area where it's kind of gray? It's
Nope.
not quite dark. It's not quite night. It's just twilight.
Nope.
No.
It's either light or dark.
Either light or dark. Okay. So you have Marxism in the United States right now. Mm-hmm. And many people are happy because it looks like perhaps we may have a reprieve on this Marxist government that has been going on for the last 8 years since Obama's been elected. And that we may get back to some normalcy here. I think a lot of people are hoping in that. I, for one, am too. Mm-hmm. I hope that's the case. But you have Marxism that has rooted in this country already, and it's already here and growing. Obviously, countries like Brazil, you listen to Marcos as he talks about Brazil every week. It's a Marxist country. Argentina, it's a Marxist country. You have socialism. You have Bernie Sanders who says, "I'm a socialist." All these things, communism, socialism, Marxism, transhumanism, Mohammedism, Catholicism, Judaism, Christianism.
That's right.
They are all manifestations of Satanism. You notice I said Christianism? Mm-hmm. It's an ism. Cultural Christianity, pagan Christianity is an ism.
Yep,
it's not
right.
the true teachings and followings of Yeshua contained in his word. That's our only standard. They have to get rid of the word in order to change the standards. Mm-hmm. Every day there's an assault on the word of God. Okay? So there's one source to all these things, and that's the dragon gives them their power. Mm-hmm. Socialism is just the political manifestation of Satanism. Mohammedism is just the religious manifestation of Satanism. Transhumanism is just the philosophical manifestation of Satanism. The God, the ruler of this society, the God of this world is the dragon. He manifests in various areas, but all are powered by the dragon. And when you see that, then it starts making a lot more sense. Instead of going, why would this happen? Or why would that happen? Or how could they do that? Because that's where they're getting their power.
Mm-hmm. And they all have a money trail, too.
Yes, you could follow that serpent trail. I think there's a real legitimate reason why our dollar sign is shaped like a serpent. Mm-hmm. You follow that. Education, entertainment, financial systems. Guess what? They're run with the devil. They're all running with the devil. It's all powered by Satan. The world systems are an enemy to the Almighty. Mm-hmm. The scriptures say that the world, you're an enemy with God. Mm-hmm. The world is you're at odds with it. The Spirit of Christ in you, the Holy Spirit that lives in you, because you're a new temple, you're a new creation, right? that is at odds with the spirit of the world.
That's right.
That's why you could be somewhere. You could be in the movie theater, and you're watching like, I'm at odds with that. That bugs me. Or you could just meet somebody. Maybe you just see them. If you're sensitive enough and have enough discerning of spirits, you could just see somebody or meet somebody and go, I don't know anything about this, but I just don't like them. Because they're emanating a spirit.
The word says, love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life, is not of the Father, but is of the world. And the world passes away, and the lust thereof, but he that does the will of God abides forever.
That's the eternal mind. That's a beautiful scripture. Thank you for finding that and reading that, because that's what I want to stress, that this is very temporary. Mm-hmm. And everything in this world, guess what? Everything in this world is the lust of the eyes, the pride of the flesh. Everything in this world is about that. There's a God of this world, a little g God, and his name is Lucifer. That's what we call him. That's what he is. He brings no light.
No.
He brings darkness, but they want to call him the light bearer. Mm-hmm. They want to call themselves the Illuminati, but they're in darkness. You, as a children of God, and joint heirs with Christ, and sons of God, are the ones who are really enlightened. Mm-hmm. And you may not see that, or the other people may not see that, because we're in a very temporal place that seems like because it's the only thing we know. It's the only fishbowl we know. We don't know about the vast ocean out there because we're in this little fishbowl for a little short period of time. Mm-hmm. And when it's over, it's over. You can't unring that bell. It's eternity. So the world systems are all enemy to God, the Almighty. Satan's technology, Satan's entertainment, etc. are all temporary. In the big scheme of eternity, Satan's temporary rule, it's minimal. And his time is short. Mm-hmm. So let us be reminded of our eternal hope in Yeshua.
Amen.
Amen?
Thank you and good night.
Thank you! You're a beautiful audience! If you want to donate to this ministry, please send your check for $1,000 or more to Brother Kapow, P.O. Box 12345678910. Your love gift. And if you get this, I'll give you your love gift of $1,000 or more. You'll get a free. You'll get a autographed paper of my notes. Okay, we're going to take a commercial break, and we're going to be right back, and we're going to talk about these men in black. So don't go anyway. Don't go away. Do not flip the podcast flipper thing. Is there
escape?
They're going to hit that little button on their iPhone, and then they're going to go listen to Rush Limbaugh. Okay, we'll be back.
I just finished reading the ebook, Demons in My Marriage Bed, a true story of spiritual warfare, written by Paul and Linda Villanueva, and I highly recommend it to all Kingdom Against Powers of Wickedness radio listeners. This book is about saving your marriage from destruction. It is a true and vivid account about adultery, witchcraft, curses, spells, and evil spirits, all attempting to dismantle and annihilate lives. This is an excellent training manual for building a stronger marriage by exposing the tactics your enemies use against you. Ultimately, the book glorifies the transformational power of God through submission to the Lord Jesus Christ, and that is a good thing. Demons in My Marriage Bed is priced at $2.99 and is available as an ebook from all online digital retailers such as Amazon.com and Apple iBooks. Other formats for reading on your computer or printing out the book are available at fifthhookmedia.com. That is FIFTHOOK media.com. Demons in My Marriage Bed, a true story of spiritual warfare, changed the way my spouse and I conduct spiritual battle and has increased our alertness level to the tactics of Satan. Please do not be fooled that such things cannot happen to you. Rather, get prepared and become the spiritual warrior needed to overcome in these perilous times in which we all live. God bless you all.
Come on, man. If you have not written, if you've not readed, are smart I talk gooder and gooder every show I be on. If you've not read Demons in My Marriage Bread.
What's wrong with you?
It's the goat is on me, man. It's messing with my tongue. If you have not read Demons in My Marriage Bed, a true story of spiritual warfare by Paul and Linda Villanueva, please do. I'm not, look at, really, seriously. There's not a whole lot of money to be made in, digital books and ebooks and stuff like that. It's not a money thing. I need to sell those things because Fifth Hook Media is a digital publishing business. Mm-hmm. I'm serious about this. Folks, we wrote very candidly. Those of you who have read it know we're very candid. We wrote stuff that most couples would not admit and talk about.
Yeah.
But that's why we are so crazy and goofy and kooky today, because of what we went through and what we still go through today. And the book has helped countless numbers of people. Mm-hmm. Okay? It really has. It's not because we're special or we know more than anybody else, but we went through some hell and back. And what this book does is outlines those spiritual things that happened in our marriage. And it's not just for couples. Any individual, any person can read this and learn a whole bunch about what we went through. And then the second part of the book is a whole training manual on how to defeat the enemy.
That's right.
How to keep clean from this stuff.
How to recognize him.
Absolutely. And the tactics of Satan. The schemes. It's very important. So anyway, I just highly recommend it, folks. That's why the commercial plays all the time. And
because you got to know who your enemy is in order to fight him.
Yeah, or you just swing it in the wind. Right. So that's what it's all about. And those who have read it, we do appreciate it.
Yes, thank you.
And I know many of you have. And you're listening to us today going, man, you guys are crazy, but we dig it, man. And so I really appreciate that. If you get a chance, get on Amazon and give us a review, please, because the reviews do help. Okay, Men in Black. Scary stuff. Speaking of demons in my marriage bed, in 2006, when I was totally crazy, I was coming out of this total demonic takeover of my brain and my life and my soul, and it was just an incredible demonic takeover, and so many weird things were going on in our lives and in our house. We were haunted people. So our house became haunted because we were haunted. And it was unbelievable. And we just saw and experienced so many weird things that you can't even write them all down. But one of the things that I experienced at the time when I was going through this, and I want to say recovering from this huge witchcraft
coming out.
Yeah, coming out of this huge witchcraft curse, on me and things like that. I was at a point where I slept a lot. I couldn't stay awake. And I could not be without Miss Kapow. I had to physically touch her. Wherever she sat, laid, wherever she was, even at a restaurant eating, I had to constantly touch her. It was really strange. I still don't really know why. But I had to do that. So poor thing, she was trying to study for school for her, degree, and she would lay in bed because I'd, had to sleep. But this would be like in the afternoon.
Oh yeah, you were sleeping a lot.
And she would lay in bed and try to, study and do her homework, and I would just fall asleep. But I had to constantly touch her. And one time we're in our bedroom, and outside of our window we had this big California pepper tree, and I dreamed that from the pepper tree these three men came out of the tree and they were walking towards the house. They were evil, and these guys were men in black. And this was a dream. I didn't actually see this. I dreamt it, and they were dressed in dark trench coats, all black suits, and they had the black top hats.
Yeah.
All three of them. One was chubby, one was fat, and two were thinner. And there was more to it. I can't quite remember. I know it's documented somewhere. I don't know if we even wrote about it in a book. I'm not sure. But there was more to it. There was more of a lesson to it. But these were like three demonic things that were coming to us, to the house. It was definitely a spiritual warning. So I just tell that story to say I've actually seen these things in a dream. So they exist. Are they aliens? No. Are they demonic? Yes. They come from running with the devil. They come from Lucifer.
Yep.
So the man who first, quote unquote, discovered the Men in Black, who first saw the Men in Black, has recently died. In April. Yeah. His name was Albert K. Bender. He died at age 94 in March 29th of this year. They're in Cuckoo, California. Or like my good friend John calls it, Colonifornia. I like that one. Colonifornia. I love that. John has a name for everything. You know, except for me. I don't think he has a name for me. John, you have a name for me?
I bet he does.
I bet you do, John. Men in Black are what appear to be male humans dressed in black suits who claim to be government or paramilitary or even alien agents who harass or threaten UFO witnesses to keep them quiet about what they have seen. They're called the silencers, right? You remember there was a movie, Men in Black, with... I forget these guys' names, but these... Tommy Lee Jones. Yeah. That other dude.
The black guy.
Yeah. But, so everybody talks about these things. But in April 1952, Albert K. Bender was a factory worker there in Connecticut. He announced the formation of a International Flying Saucer Bureau, or the IFSB, right? Whose purpose was to gather flying saucer information and to get all flying saucer-minded people acquainted with each other. So he wanted to gather everybody together and talk about UFOs and aliens.
A club.
A club. At the time he established the IFSB, Bender was 31 years old. He was a bachelor, and he lived with a stepfather.
Okay.
I know. So you picture that, and you think, okay, 31 years old, you probably should be working by now. 31 years old, you probably should have been married by then, and you're living with your stepdaddy in his basement, eating, I don't know if they had Cheetos in 52, but whatever was equivalent to Cheetos in 1952, and he had Cheetos in one hand and his right hand in his underwear, his whitey-tighties, and he's watching Walter Cronkite in the basement. I mean, that's what I picture, right? I mean, that's what it sounds like. Okay, so you're kind of getting the idea that this guy might have been a little of a loser. I mean, seriously. So all he's doing, instead of working for a living, helping his poor dad, his stepdad, he's concentrating on UFOs, right? So he was obsessed not only with UFOs, but guess what, Miss Kapow? Just guess.
What?
Occultism.
No.
He was obsessed with horror movies.
No.
And science fiction.
Wow. That is amazing.
Is it a surprise? Do you think maybe those were the demonic portholes?
Yes. Well, all those things go together.
And then now he's seeing Men in Black. Huh. What a shock. You see, because he opened himself up to all that. Sure. He was running with the devil.
Well, if you look for them, they'll let you find them.
Oh, gosh, yes, they will. You start looking for UFOs, looking for blinky lights in the sky, filming the night air. I've testified about this before in my own life. Even after I'd come, to Christ, I was out there filming the sky, and everywhere I'd go, right, Miss Kapow? I'd go for a walk in the park with Miss Kapow. What was in my hand? My camera.
Your camera.
Because I'm going to catch a UFO somewhere. And I did.
Yep, several.
I did. And it only stopped until one night I felt like I was being dragged out of bed through the window in an abduction scenario, and I felt such fear. It was incredible. I was dreaming. It didn't really happen, but I was dreaming. And that, my friend, was the wake-up call for Pablo. And I said, no, because I got into the UFO stuff and the alien stuff. I really got into it,
Well, you were contemplating writing for
Yes.
MUFON.
Yeah, I wanted to be a MUFON investigator.
Such goals.
I know, such goals. I know. And this was after I came back to the Lord. So, but see, that's how Satan works.
Yeah.
See, because once you do that, once you come back to the Lord, it's not like Satan walks away and goes, well, I lost that one. No, he's just going to work a little harder, but be a little bit more deceptive. Angles. Yes. Yeah. So you got to be real careful about these signs and wonders and things that you see. Yep. You really have to test the spirits, very, very much. So anyway, this poor fellow, 31 years old, lived with his stepfather in his basement, eating Cheetos and watching Walter Cronkite, was obsessed with UFOs, occultism, horror movies, science fiction, and he even transformed his part of the house in what he called a chamber of horrors. Nice. So, ufology historian, that's a true thing. It's a thing. Jerry Clark told of how Bender took out-of-body trips into deep space. So he astral projected. Mm-hmm. But he also worked hard on his IFSB publication. It was called Space Review at the time. And Bender built up the 1952-1953 membership to 1,500 people from around the world.
That's a lot. One of the most active members was a West Virginia man named Gray Barker. That's a cool name.
Gray Barker is a cool name. I bet he wore a cowboy hat.
Possibly.
I bet he did. I bet he did cowboy poetry.
Possibly.
How to ride a sheep. How to dismount a sheep. I don't know. We heard that last night. It was kind of weird.
You heard it.
I
had
heard
my
it.
ears closed.
Okay. In early September 1953, Bender, who was acknowledged as one of the first pioneers of UFO research, guess what? Was visited in his home in Bridgeport, Connecticut, by 3. They always come in 3.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because the dream I saw were 3 men
also.
in black. Mm-hmm. A fat one and 2 thinner ones.
Yep.
He was visited by 3 men dressed in black who warned him in threatening terms to cease his investigation or else, dang it. He calls them the silencers. It scared Bender so much where he did not publish a report. He said he was going to answer all the mysteries of the UFO question, and he didn't publish it. He just stopped. He left a warning. He said, quote, "We advise those engaged in saucer work to please be very cautious." And then his organization, the IFSB, closed down.
Saucer work. I've never heard it quite that way.
Yeah, let's go do some saucer work. To me, I'm thinking tea.
Oh, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, a little cream.
Crumpets.
Crumpets? What is a crumpet?
It's like a donut.
It is? I love donuts.
Well, it's a baked good, isn't it?
Is it sugary?
I know it's grainy. That's all I know.
Grainy.
I mean, like...
What do I want? Some quinoa donuts? Come on. Okay. So after pressing Bender for more details about the whys behind the shutdown, Barker, this is Gray Barker, wrote his first book in 1956. And the book was the first to describe the Men in Black. So Bender wasn't the one who made the Men in Black famous. It was his pupil, I guess, or one of the guys who was really into this publication. He's the one who then talked about these Men in Black. I think he really did see something. I really do.
I have no doubt.
And why they shut him down, I really don't know, unless it was more of a deception to like, hey, no one's going to talk about UFOs or care about this stuff, but this Men in Black stuff, that's really going to be sexy. I really don't know. I don't know. But I do know that it's very satanic. I wouldn't have dreamed about him if it was satanic at that time. So the book was the first to describe the Men in Black. And this Barker guy recounted Bender's own alleged encounters with the Men in Black, who were said to travel in groups of 3. They wear black suits and drive large black automobiles. In 1962, Barker and Bender collaborated on a second book on the topic. And so anyway, they said in that book that the Men in Black were actually extraterrestrials. Not government workers or anything like that. Extraterrestrials. And we all know who extraterrestrials are. They're interdimensional beings, right? That's interdimensional right. Meaning demon. So the UFO silencer experiences of this one individual, Albert K. Bender, promoted in later years by Gray Barker. who's now dead, he died in 84, created an enduring legacy beginning over 60 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah. And so, man, a lot of people have written about it. There's been movies about it and this whole bit. Now, what's interesting about this Bender guy is that after this whole UFO thing, and then he just shut everything down, he got into, he formed this memorial society for this guy named Mack Steiner, who was a composer. And he wrote a lot of films and a lot of compositions.
Well, he was nominated for 24 Academy Awards.
Yeah. And thanks to Albert Bender and his Mack Steiner Memorial Society, collections of Steiner's music has been preserved. It's been disseminated. He got a Hollywood Walk of Fame star. His name was written in the Golden Book of the State of Israel. And then the Steiner collection was donated to the Brigham Young University manuscript.
See, I find
collection.
that very interesting.
I know.
Don't you? I mean,
Israel,
why?
Brigham Young, Mormons, and the guy was, it's strange. But anyway, that's.
See, many paths lead to the same religion.
Yeah. But that's what he ended up doing after the whole UFO thing. He really got into this music thing and really preserved all this music. So it's really kind of an odd story. But
yeah, it can make you wonder about that music. And
yes.
You want to listen to those lyrics and see exactly what was really said.
What this Steiner guy was writing in those compositions. Because now you have this UFO guy, this occult guy, House of Horror guy, Men in Black guy promoting this. Yeah, very interesting. Very interesting. And my little tinfoil hat gets snugger and snugger. Okay, let's talk about some running with the devil, the technology. Running with the devil technology. Huh? Okay. This Indian from India, Indian teen, well, I don't think it was a Native American. Indian teen shoots himself in the head. How? He's taking a selfie with a gun.
Wow.
You don't take a selfie with a gun. A gun's a gun. A selfie's a selfie. The camera button, clicky. Trigger on a gun, no clicky. No good. I don't think it was that simple. I don't know how he shot himself. Interesting article because you'll see 2 or 3 stories about people running with the devil with this technology. It's stupid and doing stupid things.
Yeah.
An Indian teenager accidentally shot himself in the head with his father's gun while trying to take a selfie photograph. He was 15 years old. He lived. And let's see. It was a legally owned gun by his father, and he took it from his father's little closet or whatever and decided to take a picture of himself with this gun and accidentally shot himself in the head. Wow. All right? Now, another teenager was run over and killed in the southern Indian city of Chennai in February. And guess what he was trying to do?
He was trying to take a selfie in front of an oncoming train. You're
kidding me.
No.
Okay, here's a train.
It's coming at you. Oh, let's take a picture of it with me in front of it.
And he died. He was run over and killed by a train. I wonder if the selfie survived. That'd be a great picture. That last look of his face. But you know what? How many likes is it going to get on that?
Mm-hmm.
You'd be dead. It's almost like the dead man's cell phone.
Yep.
Ugh. Crazy. Okay, in January, police in the western city of Mumbai, they moved to crack down on dangerous selfies. The police are cracking down on dangerous selfies.
They have their own little gang department.
Yeah, what do they do? Ride around on bikes?
Selfie gang or a selfie department.
Yeah. You stop. Get away from that selfie machine and put your selfies down.
Pretty sad.
Oh. They're doing this after a man drowned. He's dead, too. A man drowned trying to save a girl who fell into the sea while snapping a selfie.
Wow.
That's your first mistake. Girl snaps a selfie, falls into the sea, drowning. You just go, wow. And then you take out your phone and take a picture of that. And then maybe you'll go viral and get more likes. Running with the devil. Running with the devil. And you read these stories, you go, how could people be that stupid? Because they're running with the wrong thing. They're running with the devil.
Well, they lack wisdom.
Yes. I like that. Wisdom. Common sense. Police identified, now this is sad, 16 dangerous selfie spots in Mumbai. And asked the lead counsel to erect warning signs and deploy lifeguards. So taxpayers' money there, they're now got to pay for signs going, warning, dangerous selfie spot, watch your step, and then they also got to pay lifeguards to hang out in case somebody slips on a rock while taking a selfie.
Yeah, then you can endanger your life. Yeah, sounds good.
Does it make sense? Okay, the last one is a man was seriously injured in April by an elephant. How?
When he tried to snap a selfie with the chained animal.
He tried to snap a selfie with a chained elephant, and the elephant didn't like it.
No. Well, the elephant didn't want to be found by the other elephant.
He thought the men in black were after him. The elephants in black. Oh, they exist. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. They exist. Instead of having the big long trunks, they have a little shorter trunk. But it's elephants in black. Okay, this is kind of sad. I'm going to go through this kind of fast. Virtual reality will completely transform children into zombies. 4 years old is a little young to see this whole movie. That's a quote by Ben Affleck. He told the Associated Press a few weeks ago when he was asked if he would take his own son to see Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice. Affleck explained, I don't want him to have nightmares.
Huh.
The very actor who acted in this movie says, I'm not taking my kid there. It's too young to see this.
But I'm hoping that the public...
I'm hoping everybody else will, yeah, because I'm making Miss...
Thanks, Ben.
Okay, I'm running with the devil. Indeed, that's a bad thing. But it's not just these violent superhero movies. Parents might want to think about more. It's the entire movie-going experience. And this is interesting. Like I said, last week or the week before, we saw Jungle Book. You know, and I did notice it was like, I mean, the animation was incredible. The technology was something else, but it was loud. It was like, boom, boom.
Yeah.
Big. Big. And I was like, I wish I had a little dB meter to see if it was, because I think theaters used to be around 85 decibels. Yeah. But man, this was more like 95 or 100. I mean, it was booming, man. And, you know.
Yeah, and I remember as a kid, I was sensitive to loud noises and screaming. Yeah. Then I married you. Seriously, though, I remember being afraid of that. That movie, Pussycats and Boots, Puss and Boots. I don't even remember what that movie was about. I remember seeing it, though, and it scared me from the beginning to the end.
Just too loud, or?
Yeah, and there was a cat with boots and a sword. Oh. And I don't remember a whole lot of that, but I remember whatever it was.
The creepy.
Movie scared me.
Well, I think this article's from the New York Post, and that's what they're talking about is these young kids. I mean, the young kids are like rejecting this stuff, and they're like, ugh. Yeah. You know, the parents are kind of pushing it on them, but the young kids
it's a Disney movie. How can it be bad?
But they're not digging it.
No.
Yeah. It says, over the course of the past few decades, thanks to some amazing technology, going to the movies has become much more intense. See, and that's what I got even watching Jungle Books.
The sound, intense. The music. The music is real tense.
Yeah. Your whole body's just...
Yeah.
Because I can sit there and hold your hand and just feel my arm just all tensed up. No, seriously. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, especially when I'm trying to get some popcorn and you're like, Bogarting popcorn. Hey, cool, Mr. Pan. That ain't Mr. Pooh. Kapoo.
Lie.
You lawyer. Okay. The scenes have gotten bigger. The volume has gotten louder. The graphics have become much more realistic. It's kind of like going to a megachurch. Common sense media rates movies in terms of violence, sexual content, foul language, and even consumerism. But few adults seem to take into consideration that even the most innocent cartoons can make the hearts of kids beat faster.
Same.
I noticed this first when I took my oldest daughter to see Tangled. It's a Disney movie, a remake of Rapunzel, several years ago. All of a sudden, in the middle of a scene when a group of men were riding on horseback, she screamed and sent her popcorn flying across the floor. Just the quick movement of the hooves, along with some suspenseful music, was enough to send her over the edge.
Yeah, see, because their little ears and everything are just so sensitive.
Mm-hmm.
And you got this booming stuff on the screen.
This flashing
it's
real
scary
quick.
for a little kid.
The little guy who trains us at the gym, our little trainer, he was telling us a story about a few years ago when he was into video games, and he was talking about I think it was Star Wars video game. He says right on the package it had a warning that it could cause seizures from the flashing lights.
Isn't that awful?
Yeah, he was telling us this isn't that weird, Wow. So parents, back to the article, parents regularly tell me, almost embarrassingly, that even at the age of 7 or 8, their kids don't really like to go to the movies. Is that odd? One mother asked me. Some think it's because their children haven't been exposed to a lot of other media. I don't think that's the case. But more likely, it's simply the special effects that we adults have become accustomed to. They say cartoons are often worse than non-animated movies. Kind of like what you're talking about, that Puss in Boots thing. A cat with boots. And so it's not natural. It's weird,
Yeah.
I think this is interesting. They write, during a recent trip to the aquarium, my 3-year-old asked to see the movie about whales. When she walked into the IMAX theater, she pointed to a small square in the front of the theater and asked if that's where the movie was going to play. I don't think she understood that the entire theater was going to be the screen until life-size whales started swimming across it. You know what she said? We have to go now.
Well, yeah.
She's 3 years old. We have to go now.
That's scary.
It scared the heck out of her.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, now what they're doing, now check this out. The media companies have kicked up a notch this thing called virtual reality devices or goggles. We already know that they're doing it for porn, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they seem like a really neat way to give kids a more immersive experience. But indeed, earlier this year, McDonald's launched a promotion in Sweden of Happy Meal boxes that could be turned into virtual reality viewers. McDonald's. What does that tell you? Running with the devil.
Mm-hmm.
More than 3,000 Happy goggles were distributed with a ski-themed virtual reality game called Slope Stars. See how little by little you get a little Happy Meal, you get the virtual reality goggles. Oh, look at Slope Stars. That's how they're getting them. They're going to want them to get hooked.
That's right.
Can you imagine the demonization that's going to happen through VR?
Yeah.
Virtual reality, because your body and your psyche can't tell the difference what's real and what's not.
They think it's real. Well, your body thinks it's real, whatever you're experiencing.
Coca-Cola also recently offered purchasers of 12 packs a similar option. Virtual reality goggles could be created from the boxes that hold the soda cans. What does that tell you?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So soon, virtual reality is going to be for everyone, thanks to products like the new Oculus Rift. I love the name. Oculus Rift. Oculus.
Yep. 8. Ocu has the serpent.
Like octagon, octopus, the octagon spirit. Oculus, also hidden like a cult. Oculus Rift. The rift in the sky. On December 21st, 2012, the Great Rift, when all the planets aligned. In a few years, the device will look like an iPhone. Who won't have one? HBO and Discovery have made large investments in this area, and virtual reality is supposedly remaking the world of pornography.
Yep.
But we have no idea what the effect is going to be putting these headsets on kids. And the manufacturers acknowledge that. Samsung manual for their VR reads, not for use by children under 13. Watching videos or playing games with the Gear VR may affect the visual development of children. Yeah. May cause discomfort, blah, blah, blah. But, you can see these things being in everybody's home here pretty soon.
Yep. That's what they're predicting. That's what they're hoping.
They are.
I know a lot of the medical field is using virtual reality for those that are disabled. You know, I know Loma Linda was experimenting with a paraplegic child. Yeah. And this doctor gave her this virtual reality, what do you call it? Headset. So that she can experience things like running and horseback riding and stuff because she couldn't, And
that sounds fine and dandy, and you'd go like, "Oh, isn't that neat? It's good to be used for good," and blah blah blah.
But it always turns for evil.
It never stops there, does it? It never stops there. Running with the devil. Okay.
The devil.
Okay. How many people listening on Kapow? I want to see a show of hands. Celebrated Passover this last April. Let me see. I can't see. Miss Kapow, could you move over a little bit? I can't see them.
Okay, here we go.
Oh, yeah. I see several. I see you back there. I see your hand. Every head bowed, every eye closed. I see you. I see back there. I see back there. How many are going to donate $1,000? I see you. I see your hand. Anyway, if you celebrated Passover and did you do the whole? I want to ask you as honest. Did you do the whole like Jewish thing? The whole herbs and the little quail egg.
Not I.
Did you do the cedar?
Not I.
Did you have an empty seat with Elijah?
No,
you're expecting Elijah to come before the Messiah.
No.
Well, but I bet you none of you knew that pot, marijuana, the Mary Jane, the weed, the reefer, is kosher for Passover. Did you know that?
I did not.
Medical marijuana is cool. It's kosher. For Passover, says leading ultra-Orthodox rabbi.
All righty. Well, if he said it, must be true.
Oh, let me tell you something. This guy
has smoked too many weeds.
He's smoked too much weed, and he is
running with the devil.
Running with the devil. It's the religious arm of Satanism. It's Satanism. It's the religious arm of it. One of the religious arms of it. Rabbi Chaim Kanievsky announced medicinal marijuana use is A-okay during the holiday celebration. Because that's what Jesus intended. Good news, stoners who celebrate Pesach. Rabbi Chaim, who the Times of Israel identifies as, quote, the leading living ultra-Orthodox halachic authority. He has ruled that marijuana is kosher for Passover. He said pot can be eaten or smoked during the holiday. Just put it with some matzo balls, okay? Put it with some matzo balls. Have you tasted the potato salad?
It's not good.
It's not good. Have you smoked the pot? It's good. It's good. You can smoke. You can eat it. There's only one tiny catch. One tiny catch. That it should be used as part of a medical treatment program. Okay? So you can't just get high on Passover, people. You can't just be stoned. It has to be part of your treatment, dang it. He stipulated that in normal circumstances, the plant is considered a member of the Kitnayot group. Anyway, it's banned. But, he said, if used for medical purposes, cannabis is permitted for Jews from all backgrounds.
Wow.
Yep. After smelling the leaves of a cannabis plant, Rabbi Kanievsky and Rabbi Yitzchak Zilberstein, who's another leading Orthodox authority, they decided that the plant had a healing smell, and then he made the blessing for fragrant leaves. Now, I watched the video of this blessing, and this one guy has this whole handful of leaves, marijuana leaves, and he puts it up this old guy, this old bearded guy's face, and he smells it. And then they do this blessing, and they say something like, God Almighty, who created all herbaceous plants and everything, bless this for our use. They bless it. Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. The point is, this ain't a rant about marijuana, medical use, non-medical use. I can care less.
Well, now they're trying to make
do whatever you got to do. But
marijuana a legume.
A legume.
Right?
Well, it was, legumes were banned. They said it was part of the legume family, but
it's not. It's an herb.
I know. You're talking Orthodox Jewish guys. They're to the arm of, it's running with the devil. Do I sound like David Lee?
Yeah, you do.
Thank you. Okay, I'm going to end with this story because this really irks my nerve. I'm not being mean. I'm just telling it the way it is. The American White House is ghetto. It's ghetto. And when I say that, it's that part of a satanic scheme, part of the Marxist agenda, and you'll know this, Agenda 21, all these things. Part of it is the destruction of morality and of culture and anything that has a semblance of good and civility.
Exactly.
That's part of it, to destroy from inside. Mm-hmm. Well, that's why this irritates me. Mm-hmm. Because I don't like Barry Obama. I don't like Barry at all. But it's still the office of the president. It's still the White House. There should be some respect and class there. And there should be some example, right? Because these are the same people, these liberal libtards, these Marxist Satanists are the same people that are trying to shove, political correctness down everybody's throat. Oh my God! Don't say Redskins. That really offends the American natives and your Redskins and don't use the Superman on your Kapow show because that really offends superheroes and the political correctness. So that's what irritates me. Well, Larry Wilmore, he's some alleged comedian from Comedy Central or something. He has his own stupid comedy news show or something like that. Larry Wilmore is a black comedian who roasts the press in the White House Correspondents' Monologue, right? Mm-hmm. This was last week. He roasts the press. He does all kinds of jokes about everybody, including, Barack and Barry and Trump and everybody else, right? Wolf Blitzer. And he's going on and on. And, okay, that's fine and dandy. They do that every year. At one point, he points out Chris Hayes. I'm sorry. He points out Don Lemon. Don Lemon is a black CNN host.
Yeah, we see him.
Yeah. He points out Don Lemon, black CNN, and there's a little video of him. This was live on CNN.
I know.
And Don Lemon laughs and then waves at him and then flips him off.
Right.
He says "F you" to him on national television live.
I know. You don't have any video of Walter Cronkite ever doing that or Barbara Walters. You know what I mean?
No. In the day, what you would call a real journalist,
Yeah,
somebody who really was trying to seek the news.
Something
No, and you certainly wouldn't have that coming from the White House. But it gets worse. And I haven't heard anybody really actually talk about this. I'm sure people have, but I haven't heard anybody really talk about how this Don Lemon guy flipped off the American people on camera.
If Donald Trump did it, I'm sure everyone would.
Oh, they would because of his hair. Yeah, his hair. Look at his hair.
He's got good hair.
He's got great hair. I'm growing mine out. Have you noticed? But just in case, I got two shots. Either have Trump hair or Hillary hair.
Well, either one is going to be bad for you because when it gets hot, you're going to get upset because you're going to get hot.
Yes, but that's only when it's medium length. If I let it grow long enough, I can put it up in a man bun and then grow a big beard and then sit at Starbucks and be a loser.
Your man bun wouldn't be like a regular man bun.
It'd be like an eraser man bun. But it's still a man bun. I'm still cool and hip. I'm a hipster. And then I want everybody to call me Pastor Kapow. Oh, Pastor Kapow. Pastor this, Pastor that. I'm going to be really cool. I'll be like I'll have a worship team and everything. I'm going to sit in Starbucks and drink some chocolates. It's either a Hillary or Trump hairband, but I ain't going no Bernie hair.
No
Bernie hair. No way. Okay. Bernie Sanders reminds me of that one of the puppets from the comedian, the puppet guy. What's his name? Forget his name.
Oh, man, I see his little face. Walter.
Yeah, you mentioned that. Another bit that drew groans from Wilmar, he was talking about Ben Carson and blah, blah, blah. But here's the deal. Here's the deal that gets me.
Irked your nerve.
It irked my nerve when I heard another black man that I know I served using a rap that I know I wrote. Ooh, here on Kapow, the way I spoke. Yeah, man. I know my roots. I was in the ghetto, man. Right. I was raised in the mean streets of Cerritos, California, man. You can't tell me.
The white neighborhood ghetto. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. I walked down the street and I didn't know some old white guy was going to yell at me. Hey, brown kid, get out.
Pick up your taco.
Pick up your taco, go back to Tijuana. I don't know. Okay. So he says, this quote-unquote comedian, Wilmore, he said, but behind the joke, because he joked, he said, let me just say how much it means for me to be here tonight. I've always joked that I voted for the president because he's black. But
the majority of them have.
Oh, they have. Paul Harvey did.
Yep.
Not Paul Harvey. Paul Harvey was a newscaster. What's that other guy? Steve Harvey. What's his name?
Yeah, Steve.
That goofy guy. But behind the joke is the humble appreciation for the historical implications for what your presidency means. Really? Like ruining the country, getting $18 trillion in debt? Is that what you're talking about, Wilmore? He says, when I was a kid, I lived in a country where people couldn't accept a black quarterback. Really?
Oh, please. Where are the violins?
Now think about that. A black man was thought by his mere color not good enough to lead a football team. And now to live in your time, Mr. President, when a black man could lead the entire free world.
Oh, please. He's not much of a leader, is he?
He let them all into off the cliff.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, that's Wilmore's opinion, but this is what got me. This comes out of the White House. He says, words alone do me no justice. He said, quote, so, Mr. President, if I'm going to keep it 100, and then he pounded his chest, that little fist bump. Like, yo, cool, man. He says, quote, yo, Barry, you did it, my nigga. Really? He said, yo, Barry, you did it, my nigga.
Oh, wow.
This is running with the devil.
Running with the devil.
Here's why. It's the destruction. It's the destruction of all civility, all common sense, any kind of Christian ethic, any kind of class. These are the same people that scream political correctness if anybody even came near saying that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's okay if I say that to another guy. And you know what Barry did? When Barry was questioned about it, Barry was like, well, he says, I loved it. It was a cultural thing, and it was a thing of love and, respect for me, and I dig it. Really?
Yeah.
The White House. The White House.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, I'm not sitting here going, hey, I'm not sitting here trying to divide whites and blacks. I'm really not. We're all screwed up.
Yep.
But this is ridiculous. It would be just as ridiculous if he would have had, who's the Grand Dragon for the Ku Klux Klan? Is it Metzger still? I don't know.
I don't know.
They would have had him up there going, yo, Barry, hang him high or something.
Mm-hmm.
It would be just as inappropriate.
Mm-hmm.
Or Paul Rodriguez on there. Yo, Barry, my spick man.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard these pundits on the news going, well, that's what, they call each other. It's a term of endearment, and you can call each other that, and blah, 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 blah. And it's like, I grew up, he had, his Mexican friends. We never called each other spick brother or spick or wetback, or those are derogative terms. We didn't call each other derogative terms and didn't expect the rest of people not to call us that.
Yeah.
That's called insanity.
Yeah.
That's nuts. Just because you're Asian doesn't mean I am. So anyway, that just disgusts me.
It is disgusting.
I don't have any other rants. I just want to say, don't run with the devil. I don't think you are. You wouldn't be listening. They wouldn't be listening to Kapow's show if they were running with the devil. Because this was the last place you'd want to be. The last place you'd want to be.
Remember what the proverb says, walk not thou in with them, refrain thy foot from their path.
Separate. Get out of the world. And the world is all Luciferian. There isn't anything of the world that's not Lucifer.
Yeah.
That's the realization you'll come to. When your eyes are open more and more, you'll realize it's all bad. Mm-hmm. It's all bad. Well, what do we do about? We got to live life. And I know that. There was a point in our lives, when we were getting rid of every occultic symbol, every occultic thing on anything that wasn't of God, we were destroying it from our house. Mm-hmm. And we had to get rid of very precious personal belongings.
Yeah.
We could not keep the dead in our house, cremains. Miss Kapow's mother was cremated. She was in our house. We couldn't have her there. No. Her uncle was cremated. He was in our house. We couldn't have him there. Mm-hmm. We had to make other arrangements. We had pictures of the dead. We couldn't have it there. There was a lot of personal things that were shown to us. Just album covers or, on CDs. Mm-hmm. Oh, I love that band. I love that music. Well, look at the CD. Holy cow. One was Earth, Wind, and Fire.
I know. That was such
Earth, Wind, and Fire. What a great band. Reasons.
A lot of occultic symbols on
exactly.
there.
And then one day it fell. So what did it fall? Something's trying to get my attention. Look at it. Holy moly. All C&I, pyramids. I had no idea they were that much into the devil.
Yeah.
How to get rid of it. Mm-hmm. I can't just get rid of the cover. Got to get rid of the CD. We even got rid of Christian teaching that had occult covers on it.
Yeah.
So anyway, the point of the story is we got to a point, and I used to joke to Miss Kapago, we might as well just live in a cardboard box with nothing in there. Nothing man-made, nothing in there. That way we'll be safe. That there's no symbol. Everything has a symbol. The Honda that I drive has an owl symbol on it. Mm-hmm. The Mercedes-Benz that you drive has a peace sign on it. I mean, everything, has that stylized peace sign.
Oh, yeah.
And, everything has some kind of occult symbol. So it was like, well, we might as well just live in a cardboard box. And then when we do that, I'm going to look up, and on the corner, I'm going to see Hecho en Mexico. Mm-hmm. I'm going to go, I can't live in a box made in Mexico. Mexico's a satanic country. Mm-hmm. Well, you can't. The point is you can't live like that. You walk in the spirit, but you're in the world, but not of the world. That's the difference. Mm-hmm. Now, if you're digging that stuff and you got Earth, Wind, and Fire music and you're going, reasons that I feel, and you got the occultic music and you're digging it, now you're in the world. Mm-hmm. You got a problem. You got the cult movies. You got all this stuff in your home,
That's why I drive a Ford.
Well, Henry Ford was a Satanist.
He was. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So now driving a Ford. You got to drive a Christian car, Miss Kapow. Christian car. TBN makes a Christian car.
Wouldn't that be an ass?
An ass. I drive an ass. I know what you're saying, but the way my mind processed it was totally different. Uh-huh. You were saying a donkey.
Yeah.
Would that be a donkey? The Christian car would be a donkey, but then I said TBN made a Christian car, and I was going to say Paul Crouch before he died invented the Christian car. Then you said, wouldn't that be an ass? So you're driving around this big ass. And I got a Christian clown car. And then you got the Christian clown car. And then when you drive up to church, all these kids come out and all these clowns and the worship pastor walks out there and they all got Hillary hair. And you got this big clown car. Rika, 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 rika. But hey, you're not of the world. Hey, you guys get my point, right?
Yes.
You guys get my point. You know what I'm saying. You can't. You guys heard the story about the goddess in the refrigerator, my Mary Gone crackers. I'll tell it again because we have new listeners. Let me tell it real quick.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm only 3 hours in the show. You guys got all friggin' day. You got nothing else to do. Bunch of podcast listeners. Good night. It's not like you have a job. So some of them are actually listening at their jobs.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And they'll be writing you short.
Yeah. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Tell your story.
Don't get your man bun in a knot. No. Okay. Those are new listeners. Not too long ago, maybe 2 years ago, I bought some crackers, or somebody recommended them to me.
Yes, they were recommended. We bought them.
Yeah, they were like health food crackers. And they're called Mary Gone Crackers. Mm-hmm. And I went to a Sprouts, a health food store, and I got some Mary Gone Crackers, and because they had this in them or that in them, they had this seed and that seed, and they were pretty delicious. Okay, they were health food crackers, so they shouldn't have been that delicious, but they were pretty delicious. Mm-hmm. So I started eating them, and I got hooked on them. Mm-hmm. I mean, I really did. I mean, these things are good, and I wanted to snack on them and everything. Now they weren't sugary, they're not salty, they're health food. They have sesame seed in them and quinoa and all kinds of weird stuff that you shouldn't eat. But I was eating it because it's health food, and they were good. And
I think they got that point.
Yeah. In fact, I want some now. I want some cheese with it. And so anyway, I was like, it was weird why I was getting kind of addicted to it so quick. It was strange. I mean, I'm talking like a matter of days. Mm-hmm. It was really odd. In fact, I went to other stores looking for Mary Gone crackers. I could get them in bulk or whatever. I wanted to go to Costco and buy a whole pallet of Mary Gone crackers. And it was a little independent company somewhere that did this. And it was kind of odd. And really, seriously, if this stuff kind of happens to you people, you find yourself drawn to something other than the Lord, like real quick. Lusting after you have to kind of sit back and rethink maybe what's wrong here. So I had these crackers in the refrigerator, and I went to bed. And in my sleep, this is a true story, the words came to me, there's a goddess in your refrigerator. Seriously, Lord? Come on. Seriously? There's a goddess in my refrigerator. And then the Men in Black. No. So that came to me. So I come up the next day, and I tell Miss Kapow, hey, I had this thing, and this voice came to me in my sleep, and it said there's a goddess in my refrigerator.
So we looked in the refrigerator.
Don't see no goddess in there. I pull out my Mary Gone crackers to have a little snack because I'm hungry. So I'm hungry looking for the goddess. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to have a little nutrition. And I opened the top flap of the box.
And right there.
And lo and behold, right on the inside of the flap is a little Shiva.
Mm-hmm. Ew,
it's
I hate that one.
Indian goddess of destruction on my Mary Gone crackers box. Why would a company hide an Indian Shiva goddess inside of their product?
Yeah.
Because it's cursed. There was a spell on it. Mm-hmm. They donated, they ordained their company and their product to this goddess, a.k.a. Satan, and said, if you make us successful, we will do your bidding.
Right.
That's the same way, the reason why people are attracted to the Rolling Stones or Neil Young or anybody else who has no talent. And then I began to analyze the box. Mm-hmm. Right, Ms. Kapow? We began to look at the box, and then we saw it. Yep. There was all kinds of stuff on the box. Yep. Mandelas and this and that and that. So Mary Gone crackers went Mary Gone trash can, and that was the end of that.
Yep.
So I just tell you that story that you're in the world but not of the world. Not everybody's going to be affected by the same thing. But for me and Miss Kapow in our house, we could not have anything like that. We were hypersensitive to occult objects, especially objects that had any kind of curse or demonic blessing on it. That couldn't be in our house. We're still like that today. We can't accept anything that has that on our house. We just won't.
No.
It's not worth it. So I don't care if it's a precious gift from somebody, I don't care if my grandma knitted it for me. If it's blessed by Satan,
we can't have
you can't have it. But you're still in the world. You're in the world, but you walk in the Spirit.
Right.
Okay? Because you don't want to run with the devil.
No devil.
Devil. That's Debil. No devil.
Yeah, no devil.
No devil. Okay? Man, I've talked to 3 hours now. I'm hyper. I want to keep going. I want to have some of that satanic Starbucks coffee with the mermaid with the split tail. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's not a goddess. Let's have some more. You know what? Better yet, let's put one in the lobby of our mega church. Mm-hmm. Have you seen the goddess on Starbucks? She's a goddess. She's a mermaid with a split tail. She's showing her thing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my Lord. You need to go in your ass car clown car, and you need to drive to the Catholic Church and do penance right now, Miss Kapow. Miss Kapow's out of control. Okay. Let's say goodnight to all our friends and family.
Ciao, babies.
Good night.
The views and opinions expressed on the Kapow Radio Show Network are absolutely the views of Fifth Hook Media and its affiliates. The Kapow Radio Show Network may have offended, exposed, revealed, laughed at, made light of, or shown the awesome stupidity in general of the following: the Illuminati, aliens, reptilians, greys, and ascended masters, sexual perverts, the oligarchs who engage in a lot of sexual perversion, corrupt, dim-witted politicians, Marxists, socialists, Nazis, idiots that think they are gods, idiots that think there is no one true God, false teachers, false religions, cultural Christians, the emerging church, the submerging church, sheeple, mindless Satanists, brain damage occultists, vampires, both spiritual and political, demons, fallen angels, nephies, people that do dumb things in Walmart, people that do dumb things, period, and guys named Schmitty. To this non-inclusive list, we sincerely wish to say, too bad, so sad, it sucks to be you.